All right, so what we're looking at is I just took us to my profile page, and the very first thing I looked at your profile page.
Uh,
Very first thing you want to do, um, and you can do this. You don't have to do it all at once, but I highly suggest that you go to this improve your profile when you go into LinkedIn next time, maybe over the weekend or whatever. When you have some downtime, do this over the course of 2 or 3 sessions, maybe. But improve your profile, and if you click on that, it's going to tell you all the things that you need to do to improve your profile on LinkedIn. Okay,
okay.
so up here at the top, I've got a pretty, my profile's pretty extensive. I've talked about, I've got all the different places that I've worked and some of my accomplishments, and I've got people down here that have given me recommendations. But it'll tell you what you need to do. But it's going to, for you, it's going to give you probably a little bit more in depth, as far as what you can do with, your background, other places that you've worked, and things like that. Okay. Now, if you see my profile, it'll also give you your profile strength, and all stars as high as you can get. So that's what you want to strive for with your profile, because you want people to see, all your accomplishments and things that you've done, and then you can also ask folks for recommendations as well. Really, one of the things I wanted to show you how to do today is groups that you could benefit from becoming a member, and the place where you have your groups on LinkedIn is under interests. See where I'm highlighting that right there?
Right.
It's the last tab, interests, groups. And with a basic membership on LinkedIn, you can be a member of up to 50 groups. Right now a member of 39. There's Mob Stars.
Yeah.
But what I do on these groups is, for example, for Mob Stars, obviously I post stuff on Mob Stars. But then I'm also a member of Arkansas Networking. There's,
Uh,
there's another one called Little Rock Connections and Little Rock Networking.
okay.
Then there's all these other groups like mobile marketing, advertising, and commerce, and I comment on those on the mobile marketing, advertising, commerce, and some of the other ones, social media advertising. I comment on those. Those are national, big global groups, but I comment on them to show my expertise in a particular area. Like somebody can start a discussion in one of these groups. You can start a discussion if you're a group member, and you're following the guidelines of the group. You can start a discussion and look for people to comment on it, or you can comment on their discussions. And LinkedIn has this really cool feature where it will show if you've started a discussion and you're commenting on the people that are commenting on your stuff, and keeping it real civil and just thanking them for their comments and stuff. They've got this feature called Key Influencer of the Week. So if you get the most posts and the most comments and stuff in that group, then you show up on the right hand rail as being the key influencer of the week. So, again, it's a little bit of, hopefully you see the value in doing that. For certain groups, especially local groups, that could be really helpful when people keep seeing Stephanie Lopez, Keller Williams Realty, commenting on stuff, and it helps build your name recognition, your brand, and build you as the expert in real estate in the marketplace.
Okay.
All right, so to join groups, so if you want to, first off, let's go ahead and just search groups. So what I would type in here is, let's say, Little Rock groups, and what it's going to bring up is all these different groups. And if you're already a member, it's going to say post. If you're not a member, it's going to say join. Whoever's the monitor of the group or the admin for the group has to approve me before I can join. Let's just go back to the groups here for a second. Oh, I'm a member of that group already, I guess. Okay. Um, Here's one: University of Arkansas Little Rock alum. Um, Little Rock Central High School alum. But if you see down here, there are a bazillion different groups that you can join. I saw when I was doing a little research here earlier. There's one that's a Mount St. Mary's alumni group, which would be a good one for you to join. Little Rock Networking's an open group, and there's 1,375 in my network. It's a very active group, 51 discussions, so it's a very good one for you to join. And then you go in there and you either post your own discussion, ask questions, or you comment on others things. And some of these Little Rock groups, Little Rock Networking, Little Rock Connections, those are places that I post for mob stars all the time.
Okay, and then if it's a closed group, Nick, does that mean that you can't join it?
No, what they do is you join, and then they have to approve you. Like mob stars. Let's just look at mob stars. Mob stars is a closed group. All right. And so whenever somebody joins as the admin, I have to approve them, and I don't disapprove anybody. I let anybody into our group on both LinkedIn and Facebook.
You do let them in, or you don't?
I do. I still have to approve in the settings. I have to approve of anybody who's joining the group. You can be a member of up to 50. I would highly recommend that you pick out and search for at least 10 or 15 and post on them regularly. Become a fixture on those groups.
Okay, Nick, so if I'm in the group, do I have to go to the group to see what's being posted?
Yes. And again,
Okay.
that's under interests, and then go to groups.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see all the groups that you're a member of,
Okay.
and then and then you can start posting.
Yeah. Okay, so when you go to home, if you go to home, then when you're at home, then what happens on the home page?
Okay, so I took us back to home, and this is where you see what everybody else that you're connected to, basically is. You can see all the activity of it's kind of like a Facebook timeline. So the more people that you're connected to on LinkedIn, the better. Unlike Facebook, where it's a social deal and you have a lot of stalkers and weird stuff, LinkedIn's really not like that. I've got probably close to 1,000 connections on LinkedIn, and unless it looks, I've had a few that looked kind of weird. People connecting with me, trying to connect with me that I didn't connect with, but I'd say 95% of the people that try to connect with me, I'll connect with them.
Okay.
And I would highly recommend that you do the same, especially if they're here in Central Arkansas.
Right.
And again, it's just like Facebook. The more people that see up there, that you're going to get more connection requests. For connecting with people, LinkedIn has this really cool feature, people you may know. Okay, now I don't know any of these people, but let's just say I wanted to connect with Kyle Pitts.
Mm-hmm.
I'd click connect. Since I don't know Kyle, they're going to ask me for Kyle's email address. And so if I knew Kyle, I would put in his email address. Since I don't know him, I really can't connect with him. If you know Kyle's email address, you type it in here, and then you click the send invitation.
Yeah.
All right, but let's say I don't know Kyle's email address. Okay, so what I want to do then is I want to look for people who know Kyle, and he disappeared anyway. So we'll just go to Landon Bagby, view profile. So here's some of the people up here that know Landon. So what I can do is I can find somebody who is connected to Landon down here. How you're connected. I'm right up here. If you're connected already, it'll say first. If you've got a connection who's connected to Landon, down here, it'll tell you the people that are that are connected with Landon. So then you can go to get introduced. It's a matter of finding somebody that knows that you know pretty well that knows Landon. So you click on that, and then you just find the person that you want who should make the introduction. So I'm going to go down here and find Greg Shira. Alright, so this is just basically an email. Then you send the request, and if Greg wants to make the intro for you, he can. My account is somewhat restricted because I've got so many. I think once you hit 500 plus, they start requiring that you have somebody's email address. You can't just automatically connect with them. You may be able to still.
Yeah, I'm able to.
But just be very careful with how you do that, because one of the ways that you get restricted is if too many people that you don't know that well report you, report that they don't know you, then LinkedIn will restrict you forever. LinkedIn helps me with my search engine optimization. If I go to Google and type in Nick Ferrara, Little Rock, my LinkedIn profile are that's the top two ways that I'm being found if somebody were to type my name in. So it's really helping me with my SEO. Once you do have a connection, the sending in mail is a very, very important feature, and it's kind of a non-intrusive way of giving them a good reason. If you want to sit down and have a cup of coffee with them, or discuss something with them, or share something that you can do to help them, whatever. It's an easy way for them to get to know you. But you can only use it with a basic subscription with LinkedIn. You can only use it if you are a first connection for that person. If you're literally connected to them.
Right. Now, didn't you say something about you can export the email addresses from this to your database?
Yep. Very easy. So in order to be able to do that, what you want to do is you want to go up here to Network, then click Contacts, and it'll bring this page up. Okay?
Right.
Then you scroll all the way down. I'm sorry, first off you click Select All. Okay? And then Export Connections.
Gotcha.
It asks you what kind of a file do you want, and I always do Microsoft Outlook, Outlook Express. It doesn't matter. Outlook is fine. And then it asks you to type in this goofy thing. Okay, so I'm going to save file. It's downloaded. Go to my downloads folder. And here it is, LinkedIn Connections Export Microsoft Outlook. So what it does is it gives you, come on, it gives you the name, address, but the most important thing I see on here, to me, is that it gives me the email address. But that's potent, because if you ever want to do an email campaign,
Yeah.
this is a great way to do it, and you can slice and dice this list in as many ways as you want.